the Designated Drinker Show, the podcast that is raising the bar on craft cocktails. I am your host, Louise Solis, and with me is my very, very talented friend, who is one of the strongest women I know, the Mixtress DC, Gina.
Hi.
Hi, lovely.
How are you today?
I am good. How about you? I'm wearing little flowers, little flower power.
You look very summery. I like it.
I'm trying.
I'm playing with my fronds, just so you know. That's
a whole nother show.
It is.
Well, that's
very fronty.
R. All right.
So anyway,
how are you? You look like you're at last call. Is that where you are?
I am at last call here in DC. Getting ready to hopefully reopen sometime late August, September-ish. We're not sure.
Yeah.
But welcome to COVID. You know, you have to keep everybody safe, which is the most important, and then have fun after.
Yep. So, but you're serving out of a couple. Yeah.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Sorry.
All the Buffalo and Bergens are open, limited hours, 8 to 3. And then our Airstream Suburbia is open, serving frosty beverages from Wednesday to Sunday, from 11 to sunset. My gosh. From sunset to dawn. I don't know. I'm making my own liquor hours during COVID. Whatever.
Oh, you got to do what you got to do. That's my favorite place
today, Louise. It just is a very exciting episode for me.
It is. It's all about strength.
Nervous. I don't know.
Don't be scared. Don't be strong. Don't be scared. You're the strongest woman I know. But let's go back to that, right? So speaking of strength, do you know the legendary, old-timey strongman axe? Strongman axe.
Of course. Step right up.
Yep, exactly. Oh, that song's now in my head. Thank you very much. Well, I'm sure you also know that there are many muscles throughout the body, right? Tons and tons of muscles. So apparently, we know we have lots of muscles in our body, and apparently there are many ways to demonstrate physical strength. Which brings me to Senor Lawanda. So Senor, not Senior, but Senor, took this thought on the chin, literally, ran with it. He spent his lifetime working on his impressive axe, demonstrating his strength, but not with his arms, no, but with his jaw. He apparently had this special harness made for his jaw, and part of his act is he would lift a 1,400-pound horse just using his teeth in this specially made harness. Yeah. Why, you ask? Why? I'm not really sure, but really, well, I'm sure it had something to do with the fact that he just had to be a little different from everyone else, and he needed to prove the point that picking up a horse with your teeth it was a great idea if for no other reason. His future Wikipedia page would have some amazing art.
What year was this?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what year this was.
Wikipedia.
You got me. You stumped me. I don't have that. I didn't do that. I didn't put that in my notes. But yeah, so it was early turn of the century. I mean, definitely, if you see it's all the same line art, it definitely was that, 1800s, kind of circus acts. But yeah, strong arm acts. So now today's designated drinker may not pick up things with her teeth, but she's amazing. She has amazing strength. She's one of the 5 strongest women of all time, a world champion powerlifter and strength athlete. She's the owner of Blue Collar Barbell and a strength coach, Shawna Mendelson. Welcome to the show, Shawna.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
I know. It has been forever. I feel like
I know.
Just a mystery. Really?
So our
on
listeners
Instagram.
know.
Sorry.
I know.
No, Shawna and Gina go way back. So it's going to be one of those episodes that I'm just going to run alongside and try to remind these guys that you were not on Long Island back in the day hanging out with, that guy Vinny. You know that one time? Not going to know what they're talking about. Me neither. We'll just drink and just call it a day.
No, Shawna has so much to tell. We're going to talk about Shawna.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Shawna, do you really have all these jackasses that walk up to you and ask for you to arm wrestle them? And please tell me you shut them down.
Pretty much, yes. But I won't arm wrestle. I won't arm wrestle them.
Yeah, but they ask.
Oh yeah, they ask all the time. Yeah.
Well, I guess it comes with the territory, right?
Yeah, it's interesting being a muscular female. That's for sure.
What makes you say that? Interesting how? For the rest of us who are not.
So, it's not often that people see, well, actually, most recently with CrossFit and things like that, being a muscular woman is a little bit more accepted in normal society. But you don't see people who are, especially females who are my size, very often, like walking down the street or whatnot. And so you get a lot of looks, and a lot of people come up to me and ask me if they can, feel my biceps, or, they ask me how much I bench all the time, or as you asked, can they arm wrestle me?
Yeah.
Stupid things.
Ridiculous.
It's so, I can't even imagine that, like walking up and like, can I feel your muscles? Yeah. How about my fist in your face?
Exactly. Yeah. Pretty much.
You know what I'm serving up?
As I've gotten older, I've mellowed out a lot.
Yeah. But it's a lot of work for what you've done, of what you have accomplished. I mean, we joke about all of this, but you're like ranked number 1.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Number 1 in my weight class in the world. Yep.
Yeah. That's such an accomplishment.
Shawna, can you tell people, so can you give everybody a little background as to how and why, like, when this became like your passion became your job? Because I think that's what's the most fascinating about everything.
So in 2003 is when I opened up my first gym. 2002 going into 2003. But I was competing, for years before that. And it got to a point where I was working in corporate America. And although I loved what I did, I don't know, it just wasn't something that was fascinating to me. It wasn't giving me that feeling of accomplishment. And I felt that when I lifted and when I was in that community, that I knew that I can give the best of myself back to what other lifters may need in order to accomplish what I've accomplished in my career.
Oh, interesting. But you spent a while before you jumped like into it full-heartedly. Yeah, before I opened. I started before you opened the gym.
Yeah,
because you started in fashion, right?
Yeah, I was in the garment district for like 7.5 years, and that was my first love. Well, at least I thought I loved it. And then, from the outside, when you look in and you watch all these fashion shows and all this stuff going on, and like, that runway show, and you're like, I can do that. Or, you see all these stylists and they're, dressing all these like amazing people and all this crazy stuff's going on. Well, that doesn't happen unless you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows someone. I was like the grunt in my industry. I mean, I think I did like a little bit of anything that you could do in fashion.
Bring garment bags to Maryland, and we brought them up 20 fucking flights of stairs because we didn't have an elevator. Shawna used to show collections, and one of her territories was like Annapolis, Maryland. And she would come down to DC when I was in college, and she'd be like, I'm going to stay with you. I'm like, awesome, because I wanted to see Shawna. But we got to bring 19 garment bags full of clothes upstairs. Now, I don't know if you know how heavy that could possibly be.
I'm sure.
And where I lived, I was cheap and I had no money. So there was no elevator. So we would run up the stairs and we'd have all these bags. And then, of course, I had roommates. And then we would try on all of the clothes. And then we would have every single thing on. And then it was just like the most ridiculous. And then Shawna would be merchandising and fashioning up everybody because it was fun. Yeah. And then we'd take like real film pictures. Actually, I think we had a digital camera then that maybe was this big. And we would take pictures and, it was so fun. And then like, to think about that now, I almost forgot that was a whole portion of your life. Like, I mean, I know that portion of your life, but I almost forgot about that because you're like, your passion for what you do I'm trying to find the word, it's compelling. Like you want to be part of your story. Like I see how people become so like intricately involved and like how it is. But like, I wonder, well, I want to know, I want you to tell people about it. Like, how do you do, how do you get yourself so committed to something? Cause it's like you powerlifting and all that's a relationship. Like
I made it my life.
Right. But like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just do
I
it?
completely engulf myself in what I do. From the moment I wake up in the morning, just to give you an example. So it's a two-part answer to your question, really. And so I'll go, just hear me out. So from the moment I wake up in the morning, it's literally lifting weights on my brain. From the moment I wake up, it is, okay, I know who I have today. I know what I'm going to do with them. I'm blah, 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 blah. I don't have anything written down for any of my clients. It's like we come in, I know what we're going to do, and we just get to it. How I actually literally made a niche for myself. You know, I was like one of the first people to ever start doing, online training.
Oh, wow.
I was one of the first people to start doing clinics, going around to different gyms and teaching people how to lift properly. When I go into something, I go in 110%. Like there is nothing about me that does not have to do with what I do. No matter where I go, no matter who I interact with, what I do is always at the top. And then everything else just kind of like folds in between. And it's not even like I even bring it up. I basically branded myself. And I just kept getting out there and I just kept hitting the pavement and just networking and talking and just really being a part of and of everything that I encompass. And I think that's where a lot of my strength comes from also, because it's something that I feel like God gave me to do.
Oh, interesting. So you see it as a calling.
I feel that way. I mean, it's not, it's not just me that does it. I mean, my brother does it too. So to have two siblings in the world who basically do the same exact thing on two different coasts and who are both simultaneously the best in the world, period. We're the only brother-sister team in the evolution of our sport who have ever done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's kind of like how I feel. I feel like, I was put on this earth to basically do what I do. And it took me a little bit to get there because I had to get through other things that I thought may have been, of interest to me. But from the moment I really started like lifting heavy, because I always trained, but from the moment I actually did like my first real squat, I was hooked. I mean, it was just, there was nothing else that I wanted to do. It was just like a light bulb went off and it was like, okay, you're home now.
Oh, how interesting. Because it is such like, it's a niche. You are in a definite, and I would assume, and I'm totally assumption, but I'm sure I'm not too far off of the mark here. You are one of few women.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you feel like you had a challenge with that when you first got in, especially not so much that the challenge of doing it with yourself, like building your own body, because it feels very, not selfish, but I mean, it's something that you're doing to yourself. It's like it's within you. But
Right.
when you started working with other people, as a woman, was that a challenge?
Never.
Interesting.
It's interesting also because, I mean, when I first started really getting into the sport, I trained at a facility that it was all male dominant.
Yeah.
There was like one other female besides me who trained there, and she was older.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah. And so, she was kind of like somebody who I looked up to in regards to having that, female connection.
Mm-hmm.
But, because she was a little older, she didn't last in the sport, as long as I did. So she kind of like faded out while I was still there. And I think that because of the place that I trained at and the people who I knew and who I intermingled with, and, the strength sport is very small. So when you intermingle with the right people,
Mm-hmm.
your name gets around very quickly.
Interesting. And I guess being number one helps too. I mean, it's not like
but it took me a long time to get here. Like I wasn't always number one. From day one coming out of the gates.
Yeah.
So it was really learning about the sport and who the best people in the world were, and I made sure that I had the opportunity to train with the best people who walk the face of the planet. That's who I learned from. Those are the people who I always looked up to. I was never going up to some random guy in the gym and saying, hey, can you tell me how to squat? I mean, there's a gym in Ohio called Westside Barbell. And the owner of that gym, his name is Louis Simmons. And Louis Simmons literally creates the strongest people who have ever walked the face of the planet, period.
Wow.
And I'm a descendant of him. I've been working with him since I'm like 19 years old. So I'm again.
Oh, just a couple of months then.
Yeah. I'm again lucky that I had the opportunity to, meet him and get to know him and, a bunch of other lifters that may have lifted with him at some point that I was also able to train with and, things like that. So, it's very, very important that no matter what field that you're in, that you seek out whoever the best are in that field.
Sure.
That's only how you become better.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. And I learn something new every day. I never think that I know everything ever.
Oh, then I always say that if you think you know everything about something, you should just quit and go do something completely different.
100%.
You just drank your own Kool-Aid. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Probably. Chances are you're wrong.
Absolutely.
And you need to just go do something you don't know at all then.
Absolutely.
You kind of I think you stunt yourself. I think when
100%.
I've known quite a few people who were very good at what they did and got to the point where they just thought they knew everything. And I was like, well, then you're only as good as, I always believe you're only as good as the last thing you did. So what you did yesterday doesn't count anymore. I mean, it's great, but I mean, you've got to keep growing and drinking your own Kool-Aid is stupid.
Absolutely.
I just think you shorten your own life and then no one likes you anyway. So
I think that people like that, there's not a lot of people that like them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. They're lonely assholes. Jeannie reminds me how much I don't know on a regular basis.
No, she's good at that. Gina's brilliant.
Yes, she
is. Don't let her fool you. She's like ridiculous.
Oh, no, I know she is. She reminds me how brilliant she is.
Now, I can't get my internet to work be stabilized today, so clearly I'm not that brilliant.
If only we could all fix that, man.
I know. I would like to say one thing that I find truly fascinating is how many disciples of your own that you're creating, Shawna, because I see people reference you like on Instagram or Facebook in different worlds where like your reach is so big now. And like, I mean, I know people down here that like, power lift and they know, like really know you, not just know like this is what you do, but like may have been to a meet that you were at or may have gone places that you've been to like meet you or like your friends will watch you lift and stuff. And like one of these girls that works for me, she's a lovely girl. She's like, I'm 22. She works on the hill and she wants to be she likes powerlifting. And I was like, oh, my friend does that. And she's like, yeah, who's your friend? Like, whatever. I was like, oh, Shawna Mendelson, have you heard of her? He's like, that is not your friend. I go, yes. And she's going to answer. And they're like, she's like, no, do you understand who she is? I'm like, I do. I do understand who she is. But it's incredible when that moment happens and you realize like, I mean, I know you made it. Like, I know that like, and where we come from, Louise, or everyone listening to the show, there's a certain sense of pride when you make it. And I don't mean like you have $1 million in the bank or, you're fucking flying a plane, but like you've achieved, your best self, like you're constantly working on the best self and you've made it in that portion. And like, it's kind of amazing because there's not many of us who have. And to see it, it's like inspiring. And you're a woman,
Thanks,
which makes it even better. It makes it even better. On that note, can we make a cocktail?
We can. Why don't we make a
Cocktail.
cocktail? Let's cheers all this, yeah?
All right. Do I need to?
let's
I have to
cheers
bring this
all.
over here, right? So I have to bring this over here so I can learn
You
how to do
can.
it.
You can.
Okay.
Or you can bring your phone over. Whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna push this down a little bit, like that. Everyone can see, right?
Yeah, we
We're
need to
good?
hurry up because I keep eating on my melon.
Yeah. All right. So, in my blender, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. I put 2 ounces of rum, and I asked everybody to do white rum, or if you have coconut rum, or if you just really hung up on spiced rum, you can really use whatever you want. I prefer to use Bacardi White because it's gonna like really lend itself to the flavors that we're gonna do today. And this cocktail is one of my absolute favorite because it's just really fresh. Perfect. Love it. You're so attentive to detail, Shawna. That's why I love you.
So 2 ounces?
So if you thought, just 2 ounces.
I'm guessing 2
You drop
ounces.
it in,
Okay.
and then you're gonna, you can give them to Jay. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, ready? So you're gonna drop in. The next thing you're gonna do is take some chunks of pineapple, and you're gonna put at least 4 ounces of pineapple in there, and you're gonna put 4 ounces of another melon or other fruit. What did you pick? I picked honeydew.
I got watermelon.
Watermelon, perfect. 4 ounces. So that's about 6 pieces.
So what if I'm doing
that
mine in a
size is
shaker,
better.
Gina?
If you're gonna use a shaker, you're gonna muddle it, Louise. So you're gonna take
Okay.
your fruit,
Yep.
put it in there, give your
just
muddle,
putting it all in there.
give your
See, Shawna
Give
would be
your,
proud of me because it's a little more of a workout because I have to push it in. So see, that's what I was thinking.
I love
Use
that.
those arms.
I am. I'm working my guns.
And now now here's the thing. I personally believe that the fruit is definitely enough sugar and stuff in this cocktail. Some people might find that they need a little bit of extra sugar in this. If you want to, at this point, you can put in there half an ounce of simple syrup or ginger syrup or something that you like. I'm going to leave that out of mine, and I'm going to add some mint. And when I say by adding mint, I'm only going to put in there a couple of leaves. So if you have mint, great, use it. If you don't like mint, don't use it. So we're just gonna put in like 5 leaves, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of lime juice. Now you can use lemon juice, lime juice. Don't use orange juice. You need one of the harder citruses. So either lime or lemon, and you're gonna use in that one about a half an ounce to an ounce.
What's
depending on
better,
how
lime or
sour you
lemon?
like it.
What's better, lime or lemon?
You have
'Cause you know me
watermelon,
with
right?
you know me with my gasoline.
Yeah, lemon. You have
Okay.
watermelon.
I don't understand that.
That's a Mardi Gras thing.
That is Mardi Gras, and it's amazing. Shawna and I, a long time ago in a different life, went to Mardi Gras together, and
Twice.
Shawna was drinking 48 ounce gin and tonic, about 47 pieces of lime, and not just one, like one every hour.
Oh, good
And we wanted to know why we saw Jesus. I don't know.
Wait, when do we put ice?
Sorry, now we're gonna take I know you're making. I forget what you're doing. You're gonna put in there. Now this is important when you're making a frozen drink. You want to only put in there to make it a nice smoothie about 1.25 cups of ice, and use your like cup measurement because it's the perfect ratio to make it nice and smooth.
I love how you're like, where's the ice? I'm like, wait, which one's the mixtress, DC? Which one's the number one power
Because
lifter?
if I mess this up, I'll be like crushed.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure I do
We're gonna
this
drop
right.
it in. Putting this in, and now I'm gonna start blending it. Okay, so I apologize for the sound, but we're just gonna kind of roll through it so you can start your blender whenever you're ready, Shawna.
All right.
Start shaking, Louise.
I'm shaking.
I'm not plugged in.
Okay,
I'm not
ready?
doing anything. Hold on. Here's a pro
I gotta
tip.
plug it in.
Your blender.
I gotta
Yeah,
plug it in.
the two of you, neither of you plugged them in.
This is a first for me, by the way, but it's awesome that it happened with you, Shawna. I love it. Okay, here we go.
Okay. How long do you smooth it for?
Until it's smooth. So, like, you want it to get it smooth, so I just gotta move mine around for a second. I gotta put it down. You got that awesome ninja.
This thing's like no joke. Okay. I think mine's smooth. Oh, it's smooth.
Gina, would you want me to double strain mine, or am I letting all the bits go in?
No, you want to double strain yours over fresh ice.
Yep.
For sure.
Got it.
All right, so now you have your cocktail, and so I did something a little bit fancy. I'm using my half of my melon as my dish, but this is only because I have to be the best at what I do, Shawna. And then we're gonna pour it in there, and if you can see the texture, it's nice and frozen, right? Normally I would have I have a little bit extra in there right now because I used my honeydew. If you use a regular glass, it's just about 12 ounces. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna garnish my Cross Island fruits, and I will tell everybody why. With a little bit of pineapple frond, pineapple, and a little bit of mint. And now can I tell everybody the story or no?
Which one?
Is that okay, Shawna?
Which story?
That we used to work at Cross Island Fruits.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I don't know how to garnish.
All right. First, that's perfect.
My garnish looks terrible. It looks like a dead
All right, well,
mint.
this is mine. Hold up your drink. Doesn't matter. Hold up your drink.
I'm getting there.
Look how fancy yours is.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's fun.
Ooh, that's good, Gina. Ooh.
You don't need the extra sugar.
No, you need no sugar in this. This is lovely.
So we're gonna call this drink the Cross Island Fruits. It's because that is when I first met Shawna. So in 2 lifetimes ago, Shawna, I was in high school, and so was Shawna. Shawna was just finishing school.
I was in college.
And we worked she was going to college, your first year. And she was going to college in Long Island, and I went to go work at this place called Cross Island Fruits, and it was, I don't know how to describe it. It's still there. It's a fruit stand that had fish, meat, whatever. It's an Italian fruit stand, right?
It was a total mafioso front.
Yeah, 100%.
No joke. Yeah.
100%. And I walk in, and I'm going to be this cashier, and Shawna is like, who are you? And she gives me the what for of who I am and how it's going to go. And I'm like, okay. So, and I learned so much about fucking fruit at the age of 15 that nobody needs to know ever in their lifetime. Like, you don't need to know the difference between a honeydew, a Santa Claus melon, and a honeydew musk melon, and what time of the year it comes out and how much is a pound. You don't need to know this in life. I knew this. Shawna knew this. And we lived this bizarre lifestyle of this is where we worked, right? So we had this job, and we became friends, and Shawna really became in charge of me, which was awesome. And I
see that set her up to be the strongest woman in the world. If she can run you, she can do anything.
100% Shawna's in charge. But all my friends, Shawna was always in charge. It didn't matter. So and nobody fought it either. We tried once and it doesn't work out, and then you're like, all right, I'll do whatever you want.
Never mind. Look at those guns. I'm gonna shoot. I'm like, okay, whatever you say.
So we meet at Cross Island Fruits. I had to put all of these melons and fruits and everything there and there, because how could I not pay homage to how we became? And like,
from the
it's true.
point.
And I did from the starting point, from the beginning of our relationship. And I think that this cocktail is very reminiscent of like all of that. Sweet, tangy, for mine a little minty, zesty sometimes. Silly because it's in a giant bowl. But all put together, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Oh,
So I love you. And I don't say that to many guests. I think just Neil. Cheers.
Cheers.
so Gina, let's do our housekeeping while we're at it.
Okay.
Where are they going to go to get this cocktail?
You're going to go to designateddrinker.show.
What?
They're going to go to designateddrinker.show.
Absolutely. So you get all of Gina's tips, tricks, and how-tos on this cocktail and every cocktail before this one, as well as we're also going to make sure that you get links in the show episode notes, as well as our website on where Shawna is. If you just can't wait to take on the world and knock it down and build it back up, then you'll go right to Blue Collar Barbell. We'll make sure
That's
you have
right.
those links.
Long Island, baby.
Bohemia.
So I want to go back to we said you were one of 5 strongest women. I want people to actually understand, because when you broke this down for me, I was like, wait, what? And my next question was, can you bench press or not bench press? That would be ridiculous. Can you deadlift a car? And she's like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I have.
So break down your numbers and explain that to me, because they are off the chart.
So my best squat in competition is 717 pounds. My best squat in the gym is 800.
What?
So, yeah. So hopefully September 5th is my next competition. So we'll see what I do there. My best bench press in competition is 455 pounds. And I did that over on the other side of the pond in Finland. And my best deadlift of all time is 525.
That's craziness. And so what's a car weigh then?
Well, it all depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the size of the car. Like one of those Fiats or those Mini Coopers or whatever. And then they have those little smart cars. Those are ridiculous. Those don't weigh like anything.
Those are like roller skates.
Yeah.
Would you even drive one of those? If you can, I feel like if you can lift a car, you shouldn't drive that car, because that car is not. Like, I wouldn't 100% be. I'm gonna go the next time I get a car. I'm gonna go to the dealership. Can anybody lift this up? That's gonna be a new question. It's gonna be a new qualifying question for me. Excuse me. I'll be like, yeah. Can you lift it or not? I have no idea. Like, I would be like, that car is a piece of shit. I've heard of
Shawna, can you deadlift this? Because I think you can. You need to meet me at the dealership.
Yeah, I'll be like on the phone with you, like screaming at the guy, like, you motherfucker, Shawna, can you lift this? She can lift this. We're not getting this car. Screaming.
Where's the safety? Where's the safety?
I mean, if she can lift it, how do you know it's not somebody else going to just lift the car and carry it away?
They'll just take it home. But you talked about your brother who, but your grandfather too. You told me that he was a
my grandfather
fighter,
was a prize fighter. Yeah, in the 30s and 40s. Yeah.
Wow. So it just runs in your family.
We have a lot of athletic people in my family. Yeah, but we put it to use. So, some people have, certain gifts in their life and they just, they don't do anything with it. Mm-hmm. So we were lucky enough where, we just kind of did something with it. And, I was always even as a kid, I was always one of those girls that was just the strongest out of all my friends. So, but who knew that it would take me here?
It's amazing though.
Stewart Manor Field. She proved it. She proved that she was the Okay, sorry.
I have no idea what that means, but it's very funny. If you're not watching us on YouTube, their faces are priceless. If you've never watched our channel, you need to go watch it, because if nothing else, Shawna can't breathe and Gina's the color of watermelon.
Gina, no, because this is what happened. Because we were hanging out and there were these kids, and for some reason they wanted to fight us. Yeah, these guys. For some reason, they wanted to fight us or wrestle us or something. So Gina had this bright idea. All right, let's do it. So we go over to the schoolyard. It's like midnight, okay? And then I don't know how it all happened. Next thing you know, Gina's rolling around with this guy, in the middle of this field. And I'm like, what's going on? And I go over there and I just wrecked him. I wrecked them both. It was hilarious, and they didn't even know what to do.
It took me home to my mother with giving me the argument, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, and she's like, if you like him, you don't beat him up. I'm like, I don't even like him. I don't even like him. I don't know how that happened, but I was going to let some boy It pushed me. I don't even know what it was. It was like slap fighting.
It was at school. Like he was messing with you at school.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
And then you were like, we're taking it to the park.
At midnight. Yeah. The probably was in my room. Oh my God, now I have 2 little girls. Jesus, somebody help me. I'm a good person, God. Please don't make my kids like me.
You know what, though? As Gina got older, like I was the only one that Gina was allowed to hang out with.
Oh.
Because Gina's mom was like, Shawna's older, she's in college, she works, she has her shit together. Meanwhile, we were out there causing havoc.
My mother, it was really funny. One time when Shawna and I went to go see, and listen, I don't know why I'm sharing this personal story, but it's really funny. One time it was my senior year of high school, and Pink Floyd was playing, and her uncle came into town, and I was the tender age of 17. I graduated high school at 17. Shawna picked me up from school. This is no lie. Sewanega High School, that's where I went to school, in a stretch limo with her uncle. So I guess to go see Pink Floyd. It was at Yankee Stadium?
Yeah.
Right? Yankee Stadium.
We had floor, third row seats.
Wow.
Third row, that's what it was. I was, keep in mind, 17. I just came from high school math, books in tow, in a limousine, go see the most epic fucking show ever. Don't go home because, of course, why would I go home? Because now I have a new ID for Maria Morello and I'm 21 years old. I spend the night at the Limelight, 17, still 17, everybody, as Maria Morello. I believe that she's still like, oh my God, I think I remember her. I remember her address.
You were on the floor of CBGB's.
That's what it was, CBGB's. Because I had a test the next day. I got dropped off in the same limo back to high school.
In the same clothes.
Same clothes.
Yeah. The same,
and my mother.
Everything.
Now here's the kicker, everybody. I mentioned I was graduating high school that year, right? I was punished from the day I finished high school for that. It was in June. From the day I got to leave my house to graduate, and then I was punished for the remaining summer until I started college.
Oh my goodness.
For that night. But let me tell you something.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. Go to a fucking show at 17, then go to all these amazing bars and see epic shows and be treated like you just came out of like you're a rock star, and your brain, and then go to school. And then I, by the way, aced my math test. And then I graduated with honors from school. So whatever.
You did. That was impressive.
So
that was a crazy summer because we went to Woodstock too.
Oh, I forgot. That was the other thing that we did. Yep, we went to Woodstock. So I snuck out, and Shawna picks me up, and we went to Woodstock.
No, your mom knew we were going because if it wasn't for Gina's mom, we would have been so screwed.
No, I was punished. She bought us that tent. Tent before I went to the concert with you.
But how many baby wipes did go? But how many baby wipes did she give us?
700,000.
She gave us 2 suitcases filled with baby wipes.
Yeah, 700,000.
And thank God we had them because we got demolished by a mud wave.
And that's how you cleaned up with baby wipes?
Yeah.
We almost got stuck in Woodstock.
You're lucky you could still be there.
There was like 500,000 people that weren't supposed to be there.
I'm pretty convinced I can't get any diseases because I went to Woodstock.
Exactly.
I could probably lick coronavirus and still not get it because I went to Woodstock. Because it was disgusting there.
It was disgusting. But we were on Good Morning America.
Yep. Brushing teeth.
Brushing teeth.
Also in trouble for that.
And Gina was braiding my hair.
That's another show. Let's do another show called What You Shouldn't Do at 17.
The best thing from being on Good Morning America was me this past year being on ESPN. So those 2 things, I'll put it right up there.
Aw, I love that.
So I'm going to bring it back to you, Shawna.
Yes.
You participate in the Scottish Highland Games.
Yes.
Tell me, she was kind of explaining to me. Will you share with everyone what that means?
Sure. So Scottish Highland Games have been around since, I don't even know. It's probably like the oldest sport in the world. And it is all about throwing things for height and throwing things for distance. And it's similar to a strongman contest because you're using all of these different elements throughout the day. So one of the big elements that we use in Scottish Highland Games is the caber toss, which looks like that big, huge, long telephone pole.
Oh, yes.
Right. And you pick it up and then you throw it. And
how much does that weigh?
So for every game, they weigh differently.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have one in my gym that's like 100 pounds, something like that. But they can weigh anywhere from women. So the women's sticks, what they call, are lighter than the men's sticks.
Yeah.
So, but the women's sticks sometimes are so light that it's just it just swirls and flies through the air. So you want something that's got a little bit of weight to it so that you have the ability to actually flip it. And it has to flip to a perfect 12 o'clock. So it has to go head over head to flip perfectly to hit for 12 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah. And a 12 o'clock is a perfect score.
And so are you lifting it like this then?
So you pick it up literally from the ground, like you're deadlifting it up from the ground, and it's something called a pick, where you literally have to take both of your hands and put it directly underneath the end of the stick.
Gotcha.
You pick it up and it's 18 feet high. So it's 100 pounds and 18 feet high. So you literally have to be able to balance it with your body.
Yeah.
So you need to pick it up and you need to pull it in really, really close and bend into it. And this is when your abs completely have to engage and you have to brace with your body in order to control it, because you don't want it to fall forward or fall back.
Sure.
Prior to you being able to throw it. So then you take a couple steps and you just woof, and it just soars. It's so cool.
Do you make that sound?
Yeah. Probably. I come with a lot of different sound effects.
Shawna, did you share the greatest thing that you ever did?
What is that?
Shawna, as a child, was a child star.
What?
Shawna has been famous since she's been little. Shawna, did you ever see the Oscar Mayer commercial with the little girl on the lake eating the piece of bologna, singing, "My bologna has a first name with the two red braids"?
Okay, so the funny thing is, Dave's little sister, now it would have been years later because she's Dave's little younger sister. Because Dave grew up in LA, well, his second half, his little sister was supposed to be the Oscar Mayer wiener girl, and she wouldn't eat it. So of course, I'm sure you know this. They line up the kids, and if one doesn't work, they just kick you off, and there goes the next one. And she was always been a little bitch, and she was like, "No, I don't want to eat it." And they're like, "No, you've been working on it." And Dave's mom's like, "Come on, you're right here, you're right here." And she was gonna be the little girl, and she wouldn't eat it. And then she's like, "No, I don't want to eat it."
Okay, well, guess what?
So you were the little redheaded girl. Oh, how cute!
No.
She literally, when she sings it in her voice, it's literally like you're watching the commercial in the the early 80s.
When we were all growing up, I'm sure it's the classic commercial that we all know.
It's her. That's literally Shawna. Awesome. It's my favorite thing. Do it. Come on.
No. She used to make me go to bars and we'd be hammered. And she'd be like, "All right, this is my friend Shawna, and she's going to sing the bologna song." I'm like, "I'm not singing." She's like, "Sing it now." "You go now."
Again, if you don't watch us on YouTube, you have to see this one. Again, Shawna can't breathe, and Gina is the color of watermelon. The good thing, I think Shawna has probably very strong lungs, because I have never had a designated drinker die on the show. I don't want it to be today.
You know what, Shawna? You need to come down here, and I'm going to make sure that the karaoke studio thing is set up on the other side of this bar, and we're singing that fucking song.
Okay, we have definitely gone totally off the rails.
Sorry. Okay.
Hilarious. So I do have a serious question for you, believe it or not.
Sure.
So at the Highland Games, which
Yes.
they're obviously in Scotland, I take it.
They're
When
all,
you
well,
are-
so they started in Scotland, but they have them lit like all over the world. And they're
Oh.
actually very, very big here in the States. And they have them all over the US. The last time I competed, well, the last time I did like a full game was actually in New Mexico at Worlds.
Gotcha. So my question is, are the women who compete, where do they mostly come from? Like the women that you're like, oh, like, you know, and watch the Olympics, you kind of say, oh, the like gymnasts coming from certain, like America has been at the top
Right.
of its game for a while. Used to be Russia. You know, you watch like each country or area can have like during certain times, like really ramp up these athletes. Do you see like women coming out of like or people, women particularly, I guess is what I'm asking about. Do you see them coming from a certain part of the world more so than anywhere else?
So as far as strength sports are concerned, putting Highland Games aside for a second, the U.S. has the strongest athletes in the world, hands down. As far as women coming from specific regions in the world, Nordic women are always way stronger.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
you were going to say, because it's not like you can go, oh, Japanese women. I mean, they're
Right.
they're smaller,
Yeah.
structured people.
Yeah.
You know, we as Mexicans were not the biggest people either. So I was just thinking that it would be, I was assuming, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions.
Yeah, no, totally. But also a lot of people who compete in Highland Games, most people have a very athletic background also, if you're good at it.
Yeah.
A lot of people come from like a track and field background. A lot of the guys come from like, they're like ex-NFL players or, you know.
Do you think the cardio plays in it?
Ball in
That's
college. A lot of it is technique and form. And a lot of times when you do like fast twitch movements with your body, like you need to have speed as well as strength. And unless you're actually taught that, it takes people a little bit longer to kind of grasp that. Because your body has to move.
Gymnast background, right?
Yeah, from when I was a little kid, I was a gymnast. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I played ice hockey. And then, yeah.
I figure skated.
The first time I put on figure skates, I fell right on my face because the stupid
Of course.
token.
And the first time
Terrible.
I did hockey skates, I was the same thing. I was like going pretty well, and then all of a sudden I'm like, but how do I stop? And my friends are like, don't go forward. And I was like, brr, and I was like,
boom.
But yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but yeah, and I was fine playing hockey as long as the puck came to the right side.
Yeah.
It was like on the left side. What do you mean? Like I wasn't good at it.
It's just coordination. But
I figure skated.
yeah, so there you go. But yeah, so you know, whenever you're, you know, either like a Highland Games athlete or a powerlifter or a strongman individual, you have to have not only strength, you have to have speed, and yes, you do also have to have cardio.
Yeah, and just when you were saying coming from like track and field, I was just wondering if that, and especially as a gymnast, that's like the full package kind of strength plus agility plus, you know, all of the things.
Well,
that
being
come
a
with
gymnast actually sometimes can be a little bit of a hindrance because you have very short muscle bellies to start with, and being a thrower, you need to have like very long lines when you throw. Because you need to be like, you have to have a lot of fluidity when you're like finishing like a hammer. And if you tend to like choke up and you're using too much of your bicep rather than using your back, that's how you can like pull your bicep and different things like that, which you try to avoid. So
the next time I try that, I will make sure that I keep all that in mind.
when I come down to DC, I'll bring all my stuff and we'll all do it like in the field.
Okay.
Gina and I'll be broken on the side.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Gina will be like, let's do it.
No, I'll do it. And
She'll
then
do
I'll
it.
never complain, and I'll do everything. And then the next day, I'll be in the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
But I'll do it. But
Yeah.
I'll do everything, and I'll be like, I did it, right? Is this good? Am I doing it good? And I'll be in traction the next day, getting IV because I'm half dead. You need to come back. All right. Louise.
This is your final question. It's all you,
I got
Gina.
one question. I know, but I have the best thing. Ready? So, Shawna, in this day and age, everybody identifies themselves with some sort of spirit animal, and you might identify yourself with, a little mini poodle.
Yeah.
Right? I'm asking you if you could identify yourself with one ingredient, what would it be and why? And it could be either food or beverage related or whatever.
An herb, anything.
Salsa.
Oh, why?
Because I'm delicious. I have many different facets, and I'll kick you right in the balls with heat.
There you go. Perfect. My spicy salsa friend. I love it.
Woohoo!
That is the first on the show, and I absolutely fucking love it. Shawna, this is my favorite episode. I love it.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I had so much fun. If you ever want to have me back on, I'll always be around. Just ask me. I would love to do it.
Absolutely. When COVID's over, we have to go up to New York, Gina, and do a workout with her.
For sure.
Yes.
We can video it and everything.
Shawna has also been to King of Burgers as well, so everybody knows that she knows where the pizza is.
They have the best fried capellini.
There you go.
Oh, you Long Islanders. Love you guys.
All right, cheers. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
The Designated Drinker Show is produced by Missing Link, a podcast media company dedicated to connecting people to intelligent, engaging, and informative content. Missing Link is a proud partner of Hearing Charities of America, a nonprofit organization that supports those who are deaf or hard of hearing. To learn more about HCOA or to find out about Missing Link's other podcasts, head over to missinglink.company. That's missinglink.company.